It's not quite perfect, unfortunately. So the good thing about Bushido is that deals +7 damage. It's not with special triggers like the old Bushido. It's just straight up 7 damage. So when you do Heavy Blade into Gale Force, it still works. The only problem is you might in fact hit too hard. That's the only issue.
Yeah. Ironically, it might just be that you hit too, like... Only thing is, you also might... See, if you have 56 attack, 60 rain, 66 solo, 70 Raijinto. I guess a 70 attack heavy blade check isn't that bad if you were to go plus speed instead.
But this is still really good because this is 4 speed, this is 4 speed, this is 6 speed, that's 14 extra speed. 59 speed's not bad.
Yeah, no, you're definitely gonna have the speed. That much is for certain. And you, again, you have the bulk. Think about it. With between attack speed rain and Raijinto, Ryoma gets an extra +8 def res. Just by having all these extra perks from getting his upgrades. So that puts him up to 41 defense and 33 res. So he's not even bad on the bulk front to be a Gale Forcer.
Yeah.
He can definitely fall in the Wings of Mercy range without dying. That much is for certain.
Now, while we might wish he had slaying so that Gale Force will work perfectly, but it still works as long as your opponent can counterattack.
Honestly, if he had slaying on top of everything, I would be terrified.
He is still terrifying, yeah. But this is an interesting build. I think he can be a capable Gale Force. Now, really quickly, this really cracked me up. Ikumi says, oh, the Flying Ryoma is the good one. Yeah, Ikumi used to play Fire Emblem Heroes way back when. So I bet she knows when Ryoma got launched and it was super confusing. Do you guys remember how confused people were? Like, it's like, we want to use Raijinto, doesn't quite make sense because he has no defensive bulk and arrows shoot him down and he has no res. But then if we switch to Fire Sweep, Bushido's kind of weird. You know, like, it was like, how do we put all this together?
I can still this and use time.
It's finally solved.
You finally got all the pieces.
Yeah. All right. You know how many of you guys put distant counter on your Ryomas? It makes me so sad, but I don't blame you because Raijinto really was not fitting of him at all.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Dive Bomb as well. Yeah, obviously you can't use Dive Bomb anymore. Bushido is way better. It just does way more. The important thing is not counting as a flyer. That's one of your biggest possible weaknesses. Chat, Exalted and I had a conversation nearly a year ago where he asked me what to do with his Ryoma, whether to go for plus attack or plus speed, and then whether to switch his weapon or not. And I told him, hey man, looking at the weapon refines sheet, Ryoma's gonna get his refined soon, so don't you worry. Instead of making a rash decision, you should wait. That was a year ago. A year ago. So it's nice to see that you in fact did wait. And now we will see if all that time was well spent. Because your Max Ryoma has finally gotten his refine after all this time. And Raijinto is, unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range. Again, it's so weird to go through weapon refines and they all start with the exact same ability, but this is the distant counter batch after all. Alright, if unit initiates combat or if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed, defense, res +4. Wow. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what was guessed. But that's perfect because if you initiate combat, which he's going to do a lot because he's a dual face hero and he should be used as a dual face hero, or use defensively if units within 2 spaces of an ally, perfectly sensible. Attack speed, defense, res +4 during combat, and neutralize effects that guarantees foes follow-up attacks and effects that prevent units follow-up attacks during combat.
Dear God.
Plus for all stats with null fall built in the weapon. Now
What are you doing?
I know some people don't respect null follow-up because if you're going up against AI heroes, you don't really care. But in every mode that actually really matters, null follow-up is a lifesaver. Game changer. My goodness. I think that was the guesstimation that some people had. It's so crazy. I can't believe it's null follow-up. It's so important, chat. Why? Because if you have null follow-up in your weapon, you can now afford to run Spurn, which by the way, this isn't even Resplendent Ryoma. This isn't even. Huh?
doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, it doesn't exist yet. This isn't even plus speed, yet he reaches 42 speed. With Raijinto, he now reaches 46. With Kestrel Stance, he now reaches 52. With Steady Posture, he now reaches 56 speed. There's a real good chance that Ryoma, and it's not plus speed. There's a real good chance that Ryoma is now, I wouldn't say.
This is no longer his
He's
best
not
build.
quite
I must
God Sword
min-max him
levels.
again. I'm content with this refined level.
I think you should be content because it's a great refine. For me, the most important thing is I think it would need to be dual phase. Legion, can you believe this? You want to know what's more crazy? I think easily Ryoma's now a top 20 sword hero, if not top 15. Top 10 is hard to break, chat.
Top 10's hard to break, and Ryoma's not bad. He has a 34-35 spread, but yeah, it's still a little touchy.
It's still a little touchy. It is Ryoma after all, and still no Resplendent, so that really hampers him. Now, Nalfalb in the weapon is huge, so it's hard to disagree with him. But you know what? What's the most meteoric rise I've ever seen in such a short amount of time?
What?
We're gonna get to him, but Legendary Ryoma, not only did he get his refine, but he also got the Legendary remix. I think Legendary Ryoma is a top 10 sword hero. But bottom of top 10, but not. Like, I think it's that absurd because he now has Bushido and this new distant counter refine.
I think he might be even a little higher than bottom of it. I'm not sure yet.
Because you guys gotta remember.
Got no bulk, but.
Huh? I was gonna say, you guys gotta remember. Huh? Go ahead.
Yeah. No, sorry. No, he has no bulk, but he has the offenses to keep up and more relevance in long term because of scoring.
But the thing I was gonna say is, you guys gotta remember, it's so crazy. He's a flyer.
Do you have any suggestions?
He's a flyer.
I've thought of a couple, but I'm not sure yet. Lola, I want to hear y'all opinions.
All right, I'll give you some suggestions. But really quickly, Legendary Ryoma is so crazy now. Flyers can't use Spurn. Flyers can't use Nalfalb. What does Ryoma use? He gets both now. It's insane.
Flyers also can't get true damage like that.
Oh. Legendary Ryoma,
So, yeah.
fastest riser through the tier list.
Yeah, literally, in this course of the one update, he has gone from bottom to top.
Yeah.
Literally a flyer with the coveted no follow-up damage reduction that so few units get.
Yep.
While still having 39 speed with a speed plus 4 distant counter weapon.
Yep, exactly. It's crazy. So hopefully we see a really good Legend Ryoma. But as for what to do with this Ryoma, I really think Double Soul is your best chance. Now, you can argue you need guard, but I would argue you're not that worried. First of all, you have Spurn, so you have pretty good damage reduction. And second of all, he's a dual phase hero. You can use him on both phases. There's no need to like force him to be defensive with the Kestrel Stance and Steady Posture. Because your Spurn's not going to do much if your Kestrel Stance and Steady Posture don't trigger it, so. Now, the other thing is, because you have Nalfalb and Raijinto, you're not that worried if, for like example, Bold Fighter, getting hit by Bold Fighter and your opponent charging your specials up, or getting, or dealing with like, you know, Vengeful Fighter or something like that. You're not worried about like helping them charge their specials as much anymore because you got Nalfalb. So I would say in general, double solos would get your Spurn to be maximized while still fitting the dual face potential of Raijinto. So probably like attack speed solo with speed res solo is what I would do. But yeah, you got a lot going for you, but I would say if you're going to run one solo, you run two solos. I just think that's the easiest way, chat. You don't have to, like, you could run attack speed solo CO and just get an Urk for speed res solo in your A slot. Or you could just run attack speed solo with attack defense solo, whatever. But double solo, I think, is the best idea. Either way, Ryoma's really good now. It's so hard to mess this up. Even his base Kestrel stance, just make him defensive in those cases would be good.
Yeah, no. Really good. Really cheap and best.
Ruby Sakurai, Supreme Samurai, Ryoma, 40+3+4. I hate this guy. Oh my god, you're worst. Oh god, why would you join Hone Attack? No, go back to... Why would you... Go, blah, blah, blah. Attack speed rain, please. Attack speed rain, please. Why would you do joint Hone Attack? What point is there to this? Just use attack speed rain. Makes him so much more bulky and helps out with his speed, which you need. Raijinto, you can handle attack regardless of range. Attack speed defense +4, whether you initiate or then to allies. It's basically guaranteed. And of course, Nalfalb. This is so absurd. One of the few heroes in the game to have Nalfalb. And remember, Flyers can't learn null follow-up, so this is even more impressive. Harsh Command plus Glimmer. Bushido. Remember, he doesn't even count as a flyer anymore. And Flyers can't... Flyers... First of all, he doesn't count as a flyer anymore. Flyers can't learn null follow-up. Flyers can't learn Spurn. He basically learned both of those things for some reason. This guy's so stupid. Anyways, speed damage reduction, 7 extra damage per shot. And, of course, extra 4 stats here. Joint Home Attack, get rid of this. Come on, go back to your attack speed. I get you can't deny his attack buff, but, like, attack speed range is so much more important. It's the speed, because with just attack speed still and Raijinto, you just plus 10 speed. 51 speed, come on, man. 51 speed barely does anything for speed damage reduction in your Bushido. Go for attack speed range. That way you hit 55 speed, and that way it's a lot more easy to use. So, the C slot is for Arena. He was scoring for a bit. Okay, it makes sense. Yeah, I guess. But I couldn't tell because you're using Glimmer right now, so I couldn't tell with this Arena build. But yeah, attack speed range with Bushido, attack defense unity. Hard to argue with attack defense unity. It's pretty good, especially from the fact that he wants to be within 2 spaces of an ally anyways. It makes perfect sense. So yeah, I can agree with that. Bond, I wouldn't really bother with. Attack defense unity makes perfect sense. So yeah. Yeah, it's really good. So let's do a quick calc. 5 plus 4 is 9. Plus 6 is 15. 70 attack is a lot of attack. I hope you use attack speed rain instead, but if you joint home attack trigger, it's 75 attack. Wait, no. 6, 4, 5. Yeah, 75 attack. And then your speed is 51, which isn't bad, but again, attack speed rain taking it 55 is more important. Your defense is 34, 39. 39 defense isn't bad, but again, attack speed rain takes it to 43, pretty important. And he can take arrows, of course. And your res is with Raijinto is 25. And of course, you got speed damage reduction. So Ryoma became like a hero that's just really good at everything. Great damage dealer, great counter attacker. Can do a bunch of stuff that's unique to him only. This is one of the quickest rises up the tier list. I have Ryoma as a top 10 hero in the game easily. I don't want to put him in top 5. Sorry, top 10 sword hero, not top 10 overall. My bad. I know I skipped a word. I don't want to put him top 5 sword heroes because I honestly think there is better. But he's so game breaking what he offers, Legendary Ryoma. He has more value to your team because he's a water blessed hero. He's inherently water legendary. He has stuff that nobody else can do with Bushido and Raijinto, right? I'll follow up and on flyer. Doesn't count as a flyer. Speed damage reduction on a flyer, and of course, he has really good. He has a really good stat spread for what you're trying to achieve. So he's a certainly good hero. I think he's possibly top 10, possibly top 5 sword heroes, but he's at least top 10. That's a shock. Congratulations, my man. Paragon Knight Xander is now maxed out. 40% plus 5, 52 HP, 51 attack, 29 speed, 51 defense, and 28 res. I would say, chat, what do you think is a better boon for Xander? Keep in mind, because he's so friggin' old, he doesn't have super boons. No, I don't remember him having super boons. But yeah, I would say I don't really think you got to worry about defense too much. Especially if you're going to use attack defense solo. They're going to release attack res solo, so maybe keep it as defense and just go for attack res solo when it does release. Anyways, for those who forgot, attack defense -5 on foe during combat and foe cannot make a fall attack. Works in both battles. So he essentially has impact if he chooses attack, and if he defends, they can't double him. So having a bit more res could go a long way. Anyways, Fortress defense res, can't argue with that. More defense, more res. If he just doubles back with the QR, that should be good enough damage. Now, I'm not sure if you get the kill with Ignis. I would go for Bonfire just to guarantee it, but that's all I would change. QR, attack smoke into attack defense. Well, I like that a lot. So drop their defense by 5, increase your attack by 5, 11 and more attack, 62 damage per shot. Yeah, I would go for Bonfire to guarantee the kills. And of course, because he has impact, he can actually attack now and not worry too much. His actual defense is looking like 6 plus 5, 62, which is really good. And his actual res is looking like 33. I like the new Xander a lot, though I do think his Refine's the weakest of the new Refines, but I think it's fair. It's good. It's just I think Xander doesn't compare to Ryoma, unfortunately. Yeah, personally, I think it's between attack and res at plus 10. Because I don't think your defense needs to worry that much. But if you're going to do Bonfire or something, it's not painful to go for defense either. I think back in the day, you probably go defense, but nowadays, because Siegfried can actually generate a bit of res, it might be better to go for res. But 40 plus 10 plus 8, with red dual cav 4, QR 3, threat and attack defense 3, attack defense form 3. I think Reggie was the first guy I ever seen with the maxed out Xander. Man,
This one I've ever seen.
it's so rare. Even though we get so many free Xanders, it's so rare to see someone max them out. So respect to you. And now we'll see if all that was worth it. Siegfried upgrade. I can't even recognize. Is that Brazen? Okay, it's attack and defense at least. Unit can counter attack regardless of foe's range. Why am I still reading that part? We should know it's on every hero's at base. Okay. At start combat, if foe's HP is over 75%, inflicts attack defense -5 on foe during combat, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack. I forgot who, but Shamil or Greed guessed exactly this.
Almost. I thought the condition was a little different.
Oh, maybe the condition's a bit different. But attack defense -5, because we figured attack -5 on your opponent's much more important because it helps with his res. His res is kind of crappy. So dropping the opponent's attack does more, you know, and dropping their defense helps his damage output, which in this case will take him up to 62. His defense is 51 and his res is 29. That and of course attack defense form can help out more there. But more importantly, he doesn't have great speed. And now his foe cannot make a follow-up attack. So I really like this, and I'm pretty certain it's close enough. But the reason why I really was a big believer in this is because I said, even if Xander had like attack defense -5 on his foe, if he takes 2 shots and he's not one-shotting his opponent, if he takes 2 shots, he's dead. Any mage that hits him, as long as they don't die, will kill him. And now, that's their solution. They can't make a fall attack. So this is absolutely necessary for him.
100% necessary. Like, I can't stress that enough. You needed something like this.
Yep. Now, I'm also really glad it's foe's HP is over 75% because I do think it's possible to break Xander's HP pretty easily. If he takes a mage shot, he gets knocked out QR really easily, but at least he's going to survive. And if it's a physical battle still, he can still do his part because he's going to hardly take damage there. So I like the fact that it's foe's HP and not his own HP.
So do I. It still will be a little awkward if the foe is remotely damaged. You might push yourself out of it way too easily. But realistically, it's going to be just fine.
Yeah. Also, another important thing is he essentially has wary now because it's at start of combat. It's not a defensive skill, it's dual phase. So he can attack into something even if he doesn't get the kill. Say it's a physical hero, they're hardly do any damage. He gets hit one time, so he's not really worried about like specials unless they're instant. But he can attack into stuff and not worry so much now. So he has a better dual phase role as a result as well.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, no. He can make a very solid impact cav initiator on a budget if you need that.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Ice did a great job here. They figured this out pretty well. Yeah. So, okay, maybe it has a bit of an issue because before if he got hit twice, he gets the bonfire out perfectly. So that's an unfortunate part. But you could still use something like Moonbow or something to get it out quickly enough. And it's
if you're
just
really
safer.
Worried about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, but more importantly, it's just safer. All right, but I think this is a good refine for Xander. It's not quite as perfect as, say, Ike or Black Knight, but I still like it. I still think it just makes a lot of sense. And while it's not +4 to all stats, he gets the most important things. Attack defense -5 on his opponent basically gives him the same thing. He doesn't get speed, but basically this is all he needed.
Yeah, he didn't really need the speed. He's still Xander, so he's going to have some problems. In my opinion, this is as good as Xander is going to get.
Yep.
You can't save him much more than this because he's a Gen 1 sword cav with very awkward min-maxing. So, for what he is, this is a really good refine and will definitely, especially if you just want to, like, even if you just refine him, throw him into some PvE content, some PvP even, can be a very quick and easy physical check with quicker posts.
He is free to play and we get a couple of copies of him pretty easily. So yeah, absolutely easily recommend for me. Huh?
You get 5 copies for doing nothing.
Yeah.
Well, his GHP rerun and Heroes Path, so very easy unit to invest in.
Yeah, all he basically needs is the basic build, I would say, is Sturdy Stance or any other stance, but Sturdy Stance is a good one, attack defense +4, and then give him QR and then give him attack smoke and you're basically done. Like that's it. Just give him bonfire or Moonbow or whatever now because of and then give him the refine and reposition. And it's a super cheap build, but you can make a really good Xander for arena assault purposes, a really good physical check, and archer check as long as he can attack anyways. So yeah, easy. This was more like what I was talking about. Mirror Stance increases his res by 6. Siegfried dropping their attack by 5, and then Mirror Stance here, so that's additionally 15 defense, 15 res effectively. And if he buffs himself, another 6, 21 res, so up to 38 res, and his defense is looking like 44, 50. That's actually pretty good. Give him a stance so he has guard, but you're still missing QR. You need QR. You can't run Cho attack. That's the problem. He doesn't hit hard enough.
No, you need to invest in that doubling. He
Yep.
doesn't. Yeah. Again, Xander's attack isn't amazing, so you got to kind of work with that.
Yep. All right, but yeah, I think this is respectable, but pretty easy to build. But I definitely think if you don't do QR on him, he's going to be kind of hopeless. So
Yeah.
100% needed.
Yeah. At least you got the harder of the two follow-up based skills and anti-follow-up.
Yep.
It's much easier to slap on QR than it is to not get doubled.
Yep. I do want to say really quickly for those saying null follow-up would destroy this. Null follow-up destroys most things.
Yeah.
That's the point of null
No
follow-up.
follow-up is meant to destroy this kind of stuff, of course.
Yeah. So I wouldn't really worry about the idea of null follow-up because the reality is just like that's the point of null follow-up. It breaks certain heroes, like their entire basis and existence gets canceled out by it. So yeah, I know, and you gotta remember Xander's one of the oldest heroes in the game. He was the first free distant counter hero too. So
Yep.
yeah, you can't hold too much against him. So I think it's then okay. So this is the super cheap build I was talking about. 30 stance. QR, your choice to see. I personally think attack's most good, but then I run my Xander with a bunch of other calves like Owen, and then home calf would help a lot too. But it's up to you. Close defenses to solidify him, which would give him a better chance at beating Dragon. So yeah, ultra cheap build is exactly what I'm talking about. Wow, you went +10/+10 and you're going with such a cheap build. I'm surprised. Dang.
Fodder's hard, man.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to make fodder for him anyways, so. But yeah, fair enough. Oh my god, Vantage. That was such an old school build. It doesn't work anymore, but nice to see it again. Now, Evan's an idiot, but I think Evan's fine here. Yeah, if you do double mirror stance with Siegfried, additional 15 damage, 69 attack, nice. With noontime, keeping you in QR, and with your extra res of 6 + 4 + 5, 15, 37 res, 49 defense. That's really solid with 69 attack. That's really solid. Okay.
Yeah. No, you can force him to have a decent res stat, considering he has the wary effect. And with his speed being okay-ish, you can at least assure that like some of the slower auto follow mages won't double in.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Now, again, he can kind of be used on offensively, but I would happily jettison that into the sky for double stances.
Yeah. No, unless you like want to make him into an impact cav, I guess. Which I guess we don't have a lot of those.
Which is funny because we have that impact lance, and this is just way better, of course.
We also have Elliewood.
And yeah, of course we have Elliewood. So fair enough.